Hello, my dear friends. Dr. Harold Benson here, a physician with over 30 years of experience treating people over 60. Today, I want to talk about something lurking right in our kitchens, on supermarket shelves, and even in the most common foods. It's what we usually consider a harmless treat, but in reality, it works like a silent killer, accelerating aging. I call it white poison. What do I mean? White bread, buns, sweets, sugar, white rice, refined pasta, and sometimes even too much salt. These foods are delicious, convenient, and make food soft and pleasant. But they're the ones that steal years from our lives. You might be wondering, Doctor, could a piece of white bread or a sweet bun really be that dangerous? At first glance, there's nothing to worry about. But let's look deeper. After age 60, our bodies change. Metabolism slows, muscles gradually lose strength, blood vessels become less elastic, and blood sugar levels can rise more quickly than before. All this creates conditions in which every extra bit of white poison begins to work against us. Let me tell you a story. Mr. Thomas, 69, came to see me. He was a cheerful, smiling man, a former teacher. But in recent years, he had been complaining of constant fatigue, knee pain, and sudden changes in blood pressure. When I asked about his diet, he said, "Doctor, I eat simply, like everyone else. Toast with jam in the morning, white rice with meat in the afternoon, and tea and a couple of buns in the evening. Is that bad?" And it is in this like everyone else, that the main trap lies. White bread, sweets, and sugar are foods devoid of nutrients. They quickly raise blood glucose levels, overload the pancreas, and trigger inflammatory processes in the body. Tom was already developing insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes. His joints suffered from inflammation, and his excess weight only added to the strain. And I have hundreds of such stories. Mrs. Anna, 72, came in complaining of shortness of breath and swelling. She never considered herself a sweet tooth, but she ate white bread and pasta every day. When we had tests done, her blood sugar was above normal, her cholesterol was elevated, and her blood vessels were already failing. Friends, I want you to remember one important thing. White bread and sugar aren't just food. They're fuel for accelerated aging. They accelerate wrinkle formation, reduce skin elasticity, make blood vessels fragile, and increase the risk of stroke, heart attack, and diabetes. Why does this happen? Because fast carbohydrates cause blood sugar spikes, and sugar is a sticky poison. It attaches to proteins in our cells and destroys them. This process is called glycation. As a result, skin ages faster, joints become stiffer, and brain function deteriorates. After 60, we can't afford the luxury of eating the same way we did in our youth. While our bodies could cope in our 20s and 30s, now every nutritional mistake has consequences. That's why I call these products white poison. But there's good news. Our bodies are incredibly intelligent and capable of recuperating. If you reduce the amount of white bread, sugar, and buns you eat and replace them with whole grains, vegetables, and fruits, you'll feel the difference in just a few weeks. The heaviness will go away, you'll have more energy, your sleep will improve, and your mood will be enhanced. Today I'll tell you which foods fall into the white poison category and why they're especially dangerous after 60. How these foods affect the heart, blood vessels, joints, brain, and skin. Real stories from my patients who were able to regain their health by giving up white poison. And most importantly, simple steps to replace unhealthy foods with healthy ones without sacrificing the pleasure of eating. Stay with me until the end, because in the end, I will give you a clear plan on how to get rid of the white poison step by step and start the process of rejuvenating the body from the inside. Remember, friends, we can't stop time, but we can slow it down. And the food choices on your plate are the key to longevity and an active life after 60. Before we dive into my patients' stories, let's look at why exactly the foods I call white poison are so dangerous after age 60. When we eat white bread, buns, sugar, or refined pasta, they quickly convert to glucose. This isn't always a problem for a young body. The pancreas actively secretes insulin, and muscles easily utilize energy. But after age 60, metabolism slows, muscle mass decreases, and cells respond less well to insulin. As a result, blood sugar levels rise above normal, leading to inflammation, vascular damage, and accelerated aging. Scientific studies show that people over 60 who regularly consume large amounts of fast carbohydrates are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop diabetes, hypertension, stroke, and dementia. But the saddest part is that many don't even realize they're consuming white poison every day. I've already mentioned Mr. Thomas, 69, a former teacher. His breakfast was always the same: white toast with jam and sweet tea. "I've been used to this since I was young," he said. But over time, Thomas noticed he was getting tired more easily. His knees were hurting, and he was feeling extremely sleepy by lunchtime. Blood tests revealed elevated blood sugar levels and signs of early diabetes. We started small. We replaced white bread with whole grain, sweet jam with low-fat cottage cheese with berries, and he started drinking tea without sugar. After just a month, Thomas said, "Doctor, I feel alive again. I have the strength to go for walks with my grandchildren." Mrs. Anna, 72, never considered herself a sweet tooth. "I hardly eat candy," she said. But she did include white bread and pasta in her daily diet. She complained of shortness of breath, swollen legs, and excess weight. Her blood vessels had already begun to lose elasticity, and her cholesterol levels were elevated. When I explained to her that white bread and pasta were no better than sweets, she was surprised. "Doctor, is that even possible?" We replaced white pasta with whole grain pasta and added more vegetables and fish. After 3 months, Anna had lost 4 kilograms, the swelling had decreased, and her blood pressure had become more stable. She admitted, "I never thought I'd feel so light." Mr. George, 75, drank tea with 3 or 4 spoons of sugar his entire life. "Otherwise, I can't taste anything," he said. Over time, he developed vision problems, frequent headaches, and numbness in his legs. We gradually reduced the sugar intake, first a spoonful less, then another. After 2 months, George was drinking tea without sugar and saying, "Doctor, I can really taste it now." His blood sugar levels dropped, and his vision stopped deteriorating rapidly. Mrs. Helen, 68, always enjoyed an evening get-together with cookies. She didn't consider it a problem. A couple of cookies won't hurt. But she began to experience joint pain, loose skin, and a tired face. When we examined her, it turned out she had begun to experience glycation, the breakdown of collagen due to excess sugar. This accelerates the appearance of wrinkles and makes skin less elastic. We replaced cookies with nuts and fruit. 6 months later, Helen was beaming. "Doctor, even my friends said I looked younger." Why is white poison so destructive to the body? Blood vessels. Excess sugar damages blood vessel walls, making them hard and brittle. This increases the risk of stroke and heart attack. Joints. Sugar and white bread cause chronic inflammation, which destroys cartilage. Skin. The glycation process destroys collagen, causing the skin to lose elasticity and wrinkles to appear. Brain. Sudden sugar spikes overload the brain, impair memory and concentration, and increase the risk of dementia. Energy. Fast-acting carbohydrates provide a short-term boost of energy, but after an hour, a sharp decline sets in. As a result, we feel constantly tired. What can replace white poison? White bread over whole grain, rye bread or crisp bread. White rice over brown rice, quinoa, buckwheat, sweets with fruits, berries, dark chocolate. Pasta made from whole grain or durum wheat. Sugar in tea with honey, in moderate quantities, or no sweeteners at all. Some foods help to wash away the effects of white poison. Berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries are powerful antioxidants. Nuts are a source of healthy fats and protein. Olive oil reduces inflammation. Vegetables with fiber slow down the absorption of sugar. Friends, my patients' stories show that even small changes can yield huge results. When you eliminate white poison from your diet and replace it with healthy foods, your body thanks you with lightness, energy, and improved health. Dear friends, we've established that white poison isn't a metaphor, but a reality. White bread, buns, sugar, sweets, white rice, and refined pasta really do accelerate aging. They damage blood vessels, overload the heart, make joints inflamed, and make skin saggy. But most importantly, we realize that the situation is reversible. Even after age 60, the body remains remarkably responsive. Just cut out some unhealthy foods and replace them with healthy ones, and you'll see results in just a few weeks. Remember the stories of my patients. Mr. Thomas simply gave up white bread and jam, and his life changed. Mrs. Anna substituted pasta and felt lighter. Mr. George stopped adding sugar to his tea, and his health improved. Mrs. Helen refused the cookies and seemed to grow younger before our eyes. All these examples speak to one thing: small steps have great power. A step-by-step plan to get rid of the white poison. Start with mindfulness. Write down what you eat every day and mark the white poison foods. Cut out half. It's hard to give up everything at once, but cutting out half is possible. For example, if you were eating 4 slices of bread, cut out 2. Substitute. Choose healthy alternatives: whole grain bread, brown rice, berries, nuts. Explore new tastes. Tea without sugar may seem bland, but after a couple of weeks, you'll begin to appreciate the true flavors of the beverage. Add fiber. The more vegetables and greens you eat, the easier it is for your body to process any remaining sugar. Monitor the results. In just a month, you'll notice the heaviness has gone away, you can walk more easily, and your sleep has improved. Friends, remember, aging is a natural process, but its speed depends on us. If we eliminate the white poison and fill our plates with living, nutritious foods, we can live longer and more actively. I want each of you to feel energy, joy, and mental clarity at any age. So start today. Not tomorrow, not Monday today. Cut out at least 1 spoonful of sugar, 1 slice of white bread, 1 bun, and your body will thank you. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. And in the comments, let me know, which white poison product are you ready to give up right now? This was Dr. Harold Benson. Take care, friends. Your health is your greatest asset.